What would you do if you found out something you cherished was possessed? Would you try and throw it away? Destroy it? Maybe sell it to some unsuspecting buyer? And how did it become haunted in the first place? Those are the questions we're going to ask as we explore those very objects. Some you might be familiar with, others so obscure that they've been lost to the sands of time until now. I'm your host, Evan O'Hare. Welcome to Haunted Objects.
What? Tom Selleck's not the only one who can pull off a Hawaiian shirt and short shorts. Eyes up here. On tonight's show, we're going to take a trip around the world to places of great beauty and wonder. Places that attract millions of tourists a year. Tourists who bring home a little more something than they bargained for.
Thanks for watching Haunted Objects. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and click the bell so you can be notified when new episodes of Haunted Objects goes live. Now back to the show.
Oh, here's me in the sea. Oh, here's me and another part of the sea. Oh, this is me standing on a rock. And this is me. Oh, I fell off this rock about 30 seconds later. Treasured images that trigger delightful, if sometimes painful memories. Have you been on a vacation and bought a souvenir? Or perhaps you've snuck a few pebbles, shells, or even rocks into your luggage. Even when there's a sign saying not to. What if that sign didn't read of fines? What if it warned of a curse? Would you still be tempted to grab that forbidden souvenir? Let's take a look. Ooh. Uluru Rock is a large sandstone formation in the southern part of Northern Territory of Australia, also known as Aries Rock. This place is sacred for the Aboriginal people of the area. Visitors who flock to the area in their hundreds of thousands are advised not to take anything from the site. Sadly, a fair few of those visitors, armed with the desire to take home more than just photos and memories, ignore the polite advice and gift themselves a piece of the rock. However, it isn't long before many of those who disrespect the sacred lands find themselves returning their souvenirs. Almost every item returned is accompanied by a letter detailing the tragic strings of misfortune which have led to this decision. How frequently does this happen? Well, nearly every single day. The Anangu, the traditional custodians, report that over several hundred travelers each year return their stolen keepsakes of rocks, seeds, twigs, sands, and pebbles. There have been so many occurrences that they have come to be known officially as sorry rocks. It is an arduous task to receive them back as each item and letter are entered into the database. Since it's virtually impossible to determine whether or not the rocks have been removed from the sacred sites of the Uluru, they are hesitant to place them where they do not belong. So, almost all of the guilty returns are placed in nearby creek beds or are used to repair flood runoff damage. While most of the sorry rocks are received in the mail, one gent reportedly experienced so much bad luck in such a short space of time that he drove 3,000 kilometers to return the jinxed rock in person with the hope of breaking the run of misfortune. Another guilt-ridden visitor left a letter to Australia. To Australia, I'm so sorry I took a piece of Uluru. I wanted a piece of Australia to take home with me. This was the wrong thing to take. I hope Australia can forgive me and welcome me if I ever come back. Signed, an unwise traveler. Well, unwise indeed, but certainly not alone. Officially, there is no curse, at least not one that the Anangu are aware of. The removal of the rocks from the area is still, however, incredibly disrespectful to their beliefs and culture. And as such, they have implemented a costly preventive measure. Naughty tourists caught trying to take pieces of nature from the national park can face fines of up to $8,500. I'd say it's safer to just take a snap and walk away, huh? Otherwise, you could find yourself on the sorry rock register of shame and bad luck. That's a boulder of a shot. Each year, the Hawaiian post office is bombarded with thousands of pounds of mail from sorry travelers, all begging for forgiveness from Pele and to be freed from Pele's curse. Oh look, here's another one. Pele is the Hawaiian goddess of fire, lightning, wind, dance, and volcanoes. Her home is believed to be on the Halemaumau crater at the summit of the Kilauea volcano. She's known for her passion and temper. Many visitors will likely hear stories of her power and destruction, and all will be told tales of the curse that she carries. Legend has it that anyone who removes anything that is natively Hawaiian, such as a rock or sand, will feel the wrath of Pele and incur years of bad luck. Whilst many believe that Pele's curse is nothing more than legend, some even convinced that the stories have been created and embellished to ward off thieves to this day. Hundreds of pieces of rocks are sent back to the island with tales of bad luck and misfortune. One of those people was Timothy Murray, who described himself as generally pretty lucky, fortunate, and happy. I've always had real good luck, he told the Los Angeles Times in 1997. He went to Hawaii for a job, but when that unexpectedly fell through, Murray took a trip to the Hawaii Volcano National Park. Like most tourists, Murray found himself overcome by the breathtaking beauty of the black sand beaches and scooped up a sample in his bottle, something he could look upon at home to remind him of the moment. But by the time he returned home to Florida, his good fortune did a 360. His beloved pet died. His 5-year relationship broke down. He wrestled with heavy drinking problems, and to top it off, the FBI arrested him in a computer copyright infringement case. My life literally fell apart, Murray sums up the 3 years after he took the sand. 1 minute you're working, and you're law-abiding, and you got money in the bank. The next minute, you're sitting in federal penitentiary in Miami. I couldn't figure out what was happening or why. Even the FBI agent said they never arrest people for what I did. They told me, you really must have pissed someone off. After some research, I figured out who it was. Please take this sand and put it back somewhere on your island, Murray wrote in a letter. I have had very bad luck since it came into my life, and I am very sorry I took it. Please forgive me, and I pray that once I send it back where it comes from, my bad luck will go away. A little bit too coincidental? Well, Mr. Murray is not alone. Larry Bell, owner of a large plumbing and heating company in Denver, considered himself a realist and not one to give credence to so-called New Age mumbo-jumbo. But even when he concedes that he pocketed a delightfully lovely marbled-sized piece of lava for a friend, the 6 years since he's been rife with stress and nothing short of bad luck. His daughter has been plagued with serious health problems, his marriage strained to the breaking point. He's been forced to relocate his business and unexpectedly needed heart surgery. With the events transpiring as such, he wonders whether he's another subject of the curse. With Hawaii entirely formed of volcanic rock, living in harmony and respecting nature is simply a matter of common sense to those raised on the island. The power of rocks is well known and practiced. However, others wonder if it's merely the power of suggestion, that people get sick or experience a misfortune and then remember at some point years earlier they took a rock from the volcano. But then again, is it simply just a myth, a mere claim by workers tired of visitors depleting Hawaii's beautiful strands of rocks and sand? Or is the curse for real? Either way, would you be willing to take the chance of upsetting Pele, the notorious goddess of fire? So what do you think? Are individuals simply using the guise of a curse to explain away the misfortunes they're experienced in this harsh world that we live in? Or would those misfortunes never have been in their path had it not been for the decision to take more than memories from a visit to a sacred land? Whatever the reason, it seems that the land itself seems to find a way to show unruly memento seekers that the sacred treasure of the land belong on the land, not in the pockets and homes of its visitors, at least not for long.
Whether the cursed objects shown this evening are of myth, urban legend, or fantastical paranormal occurrences is for you to decide. I hope I haven't left you eyeballing your shelves and contemplating your latest thrift shop purchase. But if I did, get in touch. Tell us about your possessed possession, and maybe we'll feature it right here on Haunted Objects.